we go. Hey guys. Feeling tight on space, so hold on. All right, I think we're good. We're not getting that. Sweet. I'm going to quick share this video on my Facebook page. And see if we can get more people today. All right, there we go. Sweet. Oh, and then one more thing. The other thing I wanted to do was make sure that you guys, putting this in the comments here real quick, that you guys can get notified and see the, what am I calling it? The restricted color palette series is going to be launched at this link that I put in the comments just now. So that's happening tomorrow. Oh, I forgot to put that. Saturday, April, what's tomorrow? The 10th at 4 p.m. I will probably do a live Facebook video at the time. Maybe do a YouTube one at the same time. I'll do something at that time as well, but for sure it'll be all launched on my website so you guys can see all of that. So there we go. Let's paint. I was just looking up some pictures and I think I have ones that I might want to do. So let me just browse my album again, make sure. Some good ones. I wanted to do something with ocean. Ooh, yeah, that was a pretty good one. Okay, we're going to do this one. All right, so I better put that in a different tab so I can see you guys in case anyone has any questions and wants to communicate and comment. Feel free. I love interaction. So don't be shy. Okay. There we go. I'm trying to get that a little smaller. All right. So I've been painting small landscapes, 8 by 10 this size, quite a few actually over the last few weeks. So I'll give you a little sampling of some that I have done. And I'm just kind of on a kick of wanting to paint small and wanting to paint in acrylic. So here's one. You can see all of these at my website, fragilegloryimpressions.com, Mary's artwork, to see all of these landscapes, which I'm trying to go for as textured as possible. Trying to make acrylic look a little bit like oil. I'm not really wanting to do oil these days, but I don't know, I'm just having fun with these small landscapes. So we're going to do one today and see how far we get, but I wanted to do another seascape one, with some more blues and things, but I've definitely done some winter snowy ones. Got a few more in the other room, but definitely been enjoying this. So the very first thing I do, though, is I cover the canvas with a bright underpainting. And I have to decide, because each underpainting is different, I need to decide what color to do each underpainting. I think gut feeling on this one is to do purple as my underpainting. So we're going to make that happen. As you can see, my brushes are pretty destroyed, and I'm doing that on purpose. I am pushing against the bristles. You'll see me do it as I paint. Whoa, that should get out of the way. It's probably messing with the focus. But I push against the bristles to paint. So you can see how it's just like completely flipped up on the end. It's kind of funny. But we're going to use the bigger one to just get sort of the color we want for the underpainting. I'm thinking kind of like a light, bright purple. Just feels like that's what's underneath this photograph. Always takes more paint than you think too, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but you know. Have to learn to make my colors again and again and again. It's good practice. Oh, focus. Sorry. Feel free to let me know if the focus gets really weird, because I can't look at the computer constantly. And under my filming lights here, it's going to dry pretty quick, which is nice because I want to be able to get to the next step without having to blow dry it or wait around. This is probably my least favorite part, is just painting the canvas. It's easy, I guess, but it's also like you have to really get into that texture of the canvas, rubbing it back and forth, kind of swirling it around so you don't get left with little white specks. And I try to paint the edges as I go. I do that throughout the painting. You don't really need to frame a canvas like this. You can, but you really don't have to. And that's quite beautiful to You don't have to do that. I hate framing. And framing's so expensive too. It's kind of just like rip off. But it's also like so important for a piece to make it feel finished. So it's kind of it's a challenging thing, at least for me. I think some artists maybe they restrict themselves to a certain size that can easily pop in a frame and they just buy a bunch of frames. I don't know. I don't know. A little bit too light. Trying to keep the consistent purple going on. Easier said than done, I think. Ooh, too bright. Oh, it's such a pretty purple. Don't you think? Purple's my favorite color, so of course I'm going to think it's pretty no matter what kind of purple it is. Okay, we're almost done. One more side, guys. And then we're going to start making the landscape come to life. We're doing an oceanscape, seascape, whatever you want to call it today, because that's what I feel like. Kind of want to go to the ocean. Okay, I think we got it. It's a relatively flat and equal purple all over the canvas. And we can kind of start, corner's got some white specks, mapping out our colors here. So let's start with the horizon line. Let me get out my colors here. Man, I need to get some more paint. You know, when you get down to the bottom of the bottle and you're just like, oops. Like, it's so much easier to squeeze out a fresh bottle. That's where I'm at right now. magenta is always a good color to have on hand. And our red, maroon red. And I want the other blue. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Ultramarine. It's important to have your 3 blues, your 3 yellows, two blues, 2 yellows, 2 reds of slightly different temperatures. Okay, I'm going to switch to the smaller brush, I think. And we're going to make the Far Off Mountain color, which is kind of a green brown. But because it's far away, it still is kind of light. Yeah. Think about like that. Maybe a touch lighter. Nope, too dark or too bright. There we go. Okay. I'm going to have to tip this up to get the horizon line correct. Okay, I think that's where it is. Okay, so then we're going to create the mountains by pushing up and down. So again, I'm doing that pushing against the bristles, like every artist tells you not to do, but that's what I'm doing. And I am going to be like scratching into stuff at the same time because I like a little bit of texture. I don't know where my palette knife is, so that's what we're going to do. It's looking a little dark, but that's okay. I'm going to do the sky maybe next. Kind of working with some purple grays off in the distance here. A little bit darker. Purple grays. I can leave the underpainting showing because it's kind of the whole point of having a bright underpainting is that you can kind of leave it peeking through, which I think is the most fun. Just letting it kind of do its thing and peek through a little bit. I feel like I haven't painted like this in a while, so I feel a little rusty, but hopefully that'll kind of change as we go here. All right, then the sky kind of changes color. We get this really light, almost blue-green. Pale blue. Just kind of letting the stuff on my brush mix with it though, so it's not too bright. And that just kind of comes in here. Oh yeah, I think the purple was the good choice for the underpainting because now I can kind of let it kind of rest on top of the purple. Let it peek through. A little bit more blue, maybe up in here. Pushing, pulling, scratching. doing my edges at the same time. You can see all of my landscape painting pictures on my website under Mary's fragilegrowingpotions.com. There was a link actually in the comments right now, the discussion, but it would be Mary's art. If you go to the website, you can see that link or that page at the top. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. It's coming back to me, guys. I've had kind of a break from painting like this. So I felt a little rusty, a little afraid to sit down and do it because I was afraid of being disappointed in myself with not being able to make it happen. But okay, then it dramatically changes blues here to being the classic sort of sky blues going on. So, and now there's a big cloud in here that I want to keep, but this becomes that sort of blue color. But it sort of blends with the lighter stuff. Yeah, so there's a cloud here that kind of comes around. This is a little bit of a sharper edge in here. Probably should get the clouds in there because I don't want to cover them up. So we're gonna finish this half of the sky, and then I'll maybe put the clouds in so I don't feel like I'm blindly painting around them. Okay, so if I go in with kind of a gray blue, like kind of a mix of this. I think that's like similar. Yeah, because it's kind of like this color, but we've got this shadow of clouds like in here. And little hints of clouds over in here. It gets pretty dark in some of these spots. There's kind of the shadow of each one. But then there's also the highlight, which is kind of a fun thing because it can kind of blend on the edges with the colors I already put down. And in some spots it looks kind of bluish. It's blending with the sky, cloud, whatever. Okay, let's see, there's a bright big cloud here and here. Sorry, I'm holding up too much. Here and here. A little bit in here. Big shadowy or big cloud right in here. Which then kind of transitions down into this area. Canvas is feeling a little bit loose. Not to worry, I have a whole YouTube video about how to tighten a canvas. Putting in some brighter highlighted sections that are a little bit thicker paint. Mm-hmm. Okay, now let me bring the sky kind of around that and see if we can get that help make those pop a little more. Not too much white. Can't forget the top of the canvas here, guys. I know it's a pain. It is a literal pain, but that's okay. You know, we'll thank ourselves later. There's like little hints of blue in there, but it's mostly okay. I think I'm happy with that. as the sky for now. We'll see if I end up kind of tweaking things, but I think I'm fairly happy with that. It's got a lot of movement. All right, then going down to the water. We're going for some turquoisey green, blue green, kind of off in here. Not quite the right color. It's looking a little too green. Let's see. It's a little bit more kind of grayed out on that horizon line a little bit. We need some of this handy dandy heavy gel gloss medium. This helps keep my acrylics a little bit wet longer, and it creates a little bit more texture. And it dries clear, except of course it'll be mixed with paint, so that will depend on the color of the paint. Okay. Just want a little bit more texture. I kind of want to go back up to the clouds just a little bit. Okay, see that texture there? Just a little bit more chunky, which I like. I like that. All right, then this water here. Although I probably want to do the rocks. Placement of the rocks. We've got one here, one here, one right in guys kind of off in the distance there. And then up close to the shore, we've got quite a few little guys. Establishing some darks here is always helpful. Getting some gray. Tan gray, whatever color this is, for the rocks that are kind of catching the light. The interesting thing about rocks like this in the ocean, in the ocean, is that they're kind of wet all the time. So they're quite dark, even if they've got the light on them. But I think what's happening is that the dry spots are what are really bright. Which is just an interesting thing to paint. Kind of gets bluish gray in here. It gets kind of white again in here. Just kind of laying the groundwork. That's the thing that's happening here is the highlights are a little bit bluer farther away, and then as they get closer to us in here, they can get warmer. Like really warm. We got some orange going on. Like this section just has like orange rock in interesting formations right in this spot here. grassy almost patch right in here too. Let's draw or paint in the water in this negative space here. I think that would be kind of fun to do because this is pretty blue. But then as it gets around these rocks, because the water is kind of crashing around the rocks, we get white, which is so pretty. We got spots that are a little bit more blue-green happening, like in a little bit too green in here. Then if we change to like, oh, look at that color. That's kind of what we're talking about, like right in here. There's maybe a little bit on the blue side. Not quite so green, but that is what's popping up. This little waves, and it's kind of the underpainting in some of these areas. Sorry, can you see that? I'm like totally pointing it at myself. It's just like little, it's like on the edges of the white. So if I put it down first, I think it's gonna really, hopefully anyway, get the point across. Oh man, I want to go to the ocean, guys. I want to go to the ocean. This section, let's just go more purple in here, more blue. Kind of keep it a little different than. Oops. All right, now we can go for the thicker white. It's okay if there's a little bit of blue, green in it. We don't want it to be crazy, crazy, crazy bright. I'm like letting just like the weird bristle parts that I've ruined on my brush kind of pop or kind of touch the canvas in spots, if that makes sense. And letting it like barely touch in some spots and then be thicker in other spots. Oh, that's what we want, guys. Little trails of it as it comes this way. And kind of around some of these rocks. It's just like gliding in here. A little bit more down in here, kind of on the rocks. And then there's just like little, they're not quite as bright, but there's little just currents happening. And actually way back here, there's like a light horizon line thing. And some, waves. Oh, that's what I want, guys. And then you can see the purple still peeking through. Like, that's beautiful. Beautiful to have that underpainting, doing what you want it to do. Oh, there's a little bit more up in here, which is good because it's going to define that rock a little more. And maybe separate it from this other one. kind of coming into the shore, and this section is kind of cool. Having it swirl. Oh, I'm liking that. Okay. Let's see if I can flatten. This weird section here. It's like there's a shadow, but there's like sand and pebbles and stuff right here. And I kind of want that to be a little bit more visible. So we're putting down, put in some swirls, texture, a little bit more of that up in here, around this rock, almost as if it's like a little walking path or something coming around there. It's a little hard to tell what I'm doing in here, so we're gonna see if we can fix that. Just kind of a little bit more of a defined. Oh, this problem with having multiple colors on your brush at a time is that sometimes the ones you don't want kind of pop up. Oops. This section is kind of interesting. Need some help. I think I'm overworking this section a little bit, so we're getting close to 9:30 here, so I might be stopping so that I don't like overwork this piece. I have to kind of obviously take some artistic license and decide like, oh, obviously this section needs to change so that it doesn't become distracting or whatever. Yeah, that pushes that forward because it's warmer. It's like a nice yellow color. And then having some weird slidey rock formations that look like they've been, affected by the movement of water, which I guess is understandable. This spot is still distracting, but whatever. I think I want this edge to be a little bit darker, so that pops forward a little bit more. That'll help. A little bit more dark in the greenery. Kind of like that. That same green is kind of popping up over here. Noticing like the very tip of some of these white sections should be more white. So we're going to make it more white. Letting it kind of blend with what's there, but just a few little spots that just look brighter to me. Draws your eye right there. Boom. That's what I want. Clouds are honestly looking a little bit dull next to the contrasting white that's happening on the water. So I'm going to come in and just brighten up some of those sections. It doesn't be crazy though, just enough to kind of make you go, oh yeah, there's also clouds in this picture. Or whatever. Okay. Actually, that kind of makes that look a little better, I think. It's hard to get the colors right, but lost some of the darks happening in these rocks. Okay. Well, I might call it good because I don't want to, I mean, it's not done, but it's close to done, but I don't want to overwork it. It's good to kind of take a break and come back, but this is the painting so far. Obviously, this side needs a lot of work, but I'm actually quite happy with this section here. I probably won't touch much of this anymore because it's pretty much what I want it to look like. I might kind of loosen up the clouds a little bit. They're looking a little too structured, especially this one. It's like a figure 8. So, things like that can be fixed. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and that wherever you're at, that you can enjoy maybe a warm spring weekend. So, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Bye.